No, like I said, I went to a year of college, and I kind of messed up, like most of the kids do. But uh, shortly after that, they drafted me. So, well, I entered the military in March of '66. Uh, I was sent to Fort Bliss, Texas for basic, and I went from there to Fort Polk, Louisiana for AIT. From there, we, of course, went to Vietnam. Um, Never been away from home. It was a I I don't know. It just strange, I guess. Yes. I had gone to school a semester before that, but and been away, but just during the week and come home on the weekend. So full time, it's a little different. I met a lot of friends, 3 or 4 from this area, still will, uh, with our basic, and then they moved with me to Fort Polk, so we had someone to talk to that we knew right off, So basics is pretty tough. Living on the farm, it kind of prepared you a little bit because we're off out there in the woods, whatever. Just getting to the point where you would be susceptible to uh, being told everything you need to do rather than told once and then go do what you want. So it's a little different. It's a little more strict than normal life, I would say. They started me out into with an MOS of 11H, which is for a 106 recoilless rifle. And by the time I went to Fort Polk, they had changed my MOS to 11B, which is just strictly infantry, and so just like everybody else, would pound the ground and face the enemy. So, but yes, a lot of them did. They had very few with other places. So they switched it back to 11H. Uh, I was at Fort Sill after I came back from Vietnam, and I was an E4. Um, I kind of blamed my first sergeant in Vietnam to be for my problem, not a little more rank, but the here nor there right now. So, but E4 was my rank when I came out, and I I don't believe morally because in the service you just learn everything. You get to drinking, or you get to smoking, or the language that they always put out. And it's out there, but if you're not that close to it, you don't do it. And you start that step. As far as technically learning something, nothing that I could use. I always squirrel hunted, so I didn't need to shoot, learn how to shoot. But I think it helps you to grow up and be a little more responsible. Well, I only served the 2 years. It was from March '66 to March '68, and I spent that 1 year in Vietnam. So it it was it was pretty much the way we had trained. After we got over there, uh, the people were different. Of course, they a little more back in time seems like, but we were there to help them, and that's what we had tried to do. You know, it. We landed in next to Saigon there, Tan Son Nhut Air Force Base, and transported over to a compound where we were given orders to where we were going to be in the country there, and it was a little bit difficult there because they moved you from place to place by truck, and at the compound when we first got there, they would tell you how what to do if we were being attacked, and they were being attacked right at that compound. So then they tried moving us out of the compound by truck, and we thought, what they're doing, hand you a rifle that's rusty, it don't work, no ammo, and got us to the next location, which was with, for my case, was with the 25th Infantry Division, and we spent a couple of days there going over booby traps and this, just this and that. And then I was transferred to Tainin with 196th Light Infantry Brigade, and I spent my time there. So we did a lot of maneuvering around around that area. We had one mountain right next to us. The only mountain I seen in the whole country was the Black Mountain, or they called it Nui Badin. And supposedly there was Vietnam all over that mountain, but we had a base right at the very top. Somehow they had gotten up there, special forces had gotten up there, but they would get attacked from Vietnam. Of course, they were dug in around the mountain there, above the rice paddies and things. And first time I went out, we lost a couple of guys, and that's a little hard to take, I think. It's we couldn't see the people, the Vietnamese, but somehow they located us, I guess. We were more open than when we went to. We stayed there at Tay Ninh for a while. Well, we even went into Cambodia from Tay Ninh a little ways, a couple of times, which I was told we weren't supposed to, but we wound up over there and come back. And when we come back, we stayed to Tay Ninh. Well, it was probably about 6 months, I guess. And then we moved to Chu Lai up north, and we took over a Marine base. Marines had been on this one encampment there, and they had moved them somewhere else. So we took over their camp and spent the rest of my time there. So there was some strange things going on. I mean, nothing I was prepared for, I don't think. I've heard people say, that they were spit on. They were just kind of ignored. They were screamed at or whatever. But I don't remember that. If I did, I don't remember it. I came back to Oakland, and from Oakland I came home, and that was it. I just 2 or 3 weeks off and went back to Fort Sill, just enrolled in it till my time was up. So. But yeah, it was quite an experience. But it's not something that I felt that I shouldn't have been over there. There was a reason for it, even though we probably didn't succeed in what we should have accomplished. But it's just like any of the other wars that we are having right now. Iraq, did we really win, or did we just give up and come home? Afghanistan are getting ready to do that. Now I got 2 grandsons who are just about the right age, so it makes you wonder if they should go to the service or not. And I don't think that I would say no to them if they asked me, but I'd hate to see them go. I've been trying to get over that because I am at mental health in Muskogee, so and we work with a group, and I do more listening than I do talking. So, but it brings back some memories, and it helps to understand that others went through it too. You know how they felt. Some of it, or within myself, I thought that I had forgotten all that stuff. You know that wherever I put it, I didn't think about it no more. But the wife tells me, you know, dreams and nightmares, and of course I never knew what it was, but she would tell me those things, and then so I just tried and I feel that, and she says that it's helped. Maybe not taking it all away, but it's helped. A lot of people see this as being a little bit of weakness, you know, but it's not. That's what those people are put there for, to try to help you to bring this back from those 45 years ago, that it will help you to cope with it now, and they're there to kind of guide you, you know. And then by having other veterans there with you to talk to, or to just listen to them. Just listen to them. It helps you. I've been with them, the group that I've been with them for almost 6 years now, I guess. And I started, I didn't know what I was really getting into, but the doctor that I saw seemed to think that I should probably just go to it and see. He said, you don't have to stay. Go a time or two. And with the help that he's getting, or it keeps those nightmares away sometime. And other things that might be bothering you, you can bring those out, and it's very helpful. Very helpful. And the PTSD, it's not just for veterans in war. You know, it's anyone who's had a crisis in their life. It's not just war. So it's death of a person you're real close to, or some kind of accident, or things that would kind of affect your mind a little bit. That's what PTSD is. Dad was in World War II. I was in Vietnam, and son was in the first Iraqi war. I forget what they called it, Desert Storm. I mean, you know, I'm proud that we all went and served and came home, you know. But as far as really thinking about the being proud part, I don't know. Maybe that's the Indian in us. We just a little bit of fight there if we have to have it, you know. That's just, it's always to. It's like when you get that in your mind that it's protect the family, and that's what we feel, and that's what we do. So. Yeah. They need to stay in school. They need to go to church. They need to get as much education as they can. And always be proud of the country that they live in. It makes you proud to be a Cherokee. Like you said, We didn't get that when we came home. And it took us this long, 45 years, for the United States to start recognizing that those troops needed help. Now that the Cherokees are pursuing these awards, and that's another little push to help